trail. Well, not yet, but getting there. At the rest stop on 75 in Florida, basically on Alligator Alley. And I get the pleasure of hiking the Florida Trail for 3 days with the Mockingbird. So we're just stopping here for a little bit of a pit stop, and then we're gonna be hitting the trail. Give you more of an update when I get back. Just got a great ride from a trail angel. I forget her name, but I'll make a comment later. She was awesome. Took us about 80 miles around the swamp to get to this point. Now I'm at the Oasis Visiting Center, and it's toasty. Definitely hot, but we'll just take our time and get going. Just gonna wait for the Mockingbird to get to the southern terminus here, and then get some sunscreen on and be on our way. Very cool. The national park here. There is the southern terminus of the Florida Trail. Putting my hand on it. Only got a couple days to be out here, but it's good to be on another trail. And supposedly the blazes are yellow, which is pretty cool. All right, we're just gonna hang out here at the visiting center for a little bit and then get going. Oh, it's orange. What do I know? Hello. We made it to the southern terminus, finally. And we're off for 3 days. Hotter, hotter, and more hotter. But we're gonna have fun and get back to hiking. How about that? Good afternoon. This is Rick Osborne Jr. with Geology Rocks. And I am in the big Cypress National Park in Florida, and just left the southern terminus of the Florida Trail. And I'm gonna get into a little bit of the terrain, primarily the swamp, for the next 3 days. So this is Rick Osborne Jr. with Geology Rocks out here in the Florida Trail, checking out some of the cool stuff that I could find out here. Keep you posted. All right, this is the Florida Trail, and there's the orange blaze. A lot of pines, a lot of palms, a lot of greenery, and beautiful terrain. Definitely unlike that I've ever seen yet on any hike. So southern Florida section right here. This is considered the swamp, and no water so far. I heard it's about 3 miles into the trail before the water starts. So just hustled down from the Florida Keys yesterday after a great time with my in-laws. Got to drive down to their house, hang out with them for a few days. Prior to that, I got to see the kids in Charlotte, and then Mark and his family in Savannah. And now, before school starts, Mockingbird and I wanted to get a little bit of hiking in during the Christmas break. So we are hiking the Florida Trail, 3 miles. Or not 3 miles, 50 miles of it, 3 days. And I'll keep you along this little journey as I go. But look at that. It's about 80 degrees out. So it's toasty, and I've been walking, but not necessarily this heat. So we'll take our time. It's already 2 o'clock, so we only have about 3 more hours of daylight. But it is getting lighter every day. 2026, here we go. All right, just hit mile 4, and there's the trail. It's really the most water that I've seen. And hopefully that'll be the majority of it for today, but we'll see. Wasn't that long. Felt good. All right, look at this beautiful area though. Hey Don, Mockingbird and I just coming to the swamp. There she comes. We can hear her slogging. Look at that girl. Boy, is she tough. Slogging through the water. I know. All right, say hi to Cousin Don. Hey? Say hi to Cousin Don.
Hello, Cousin Don.
Hello.
We're just cooling off.
Ah, over and out. Oh, say hi to Bee-Boo too. I'll send it to them both.
Say hi to who?
Hi, Bee-Boo.
Hi, Bee-Boo.
Ah. All right, this is the water source at 7 Mile Camp. It's a Cypress dome. Look how beautiful that is, but there's a lot of water standing around here. And I get a couple more liters, or 1 more liter, and then I'm gonna keep pushing. It's only about 4:30, so. All right, over and out. Good morning, day 2 on the Florida Trail. Did about 9.3 yesterday. Now we're getting up, having breakfast, watching the sunrise. Didn't sleep too good. First night in the tent in a while. Hips were sore, rolled around a lot, but it's all right. It's nice and cool this morning. We're going to get going. Hopefully do 20 miles today and get to I-75. Hopefully have dry feet. Not right now. They're already wet. So, all right, my water's boiling. It's time to rock and roll. Over and out. All right, good morning again. It's 9 o'clock on the Florida Trail. Just took about 2 hours, or 1 hour. I'm sorry, 1 hour to go 2 miles. And most of it was basically ankle deep water. Gets a little creepy going through that because you don't know what's ahead of you. But I'm on dry land now. With that being said, depending on how much there is of that, there's really no rhyme or reason of where the water's at. You can't really tell. Even if you look at far out, it might give you a hint, but there just seems like it's a little bit low, but the topography is just so flat, you can't even tell. And it just sort of sits. Now, one thing I will say, it looks like where you see more dead vegetation, it looks like that's where more of the standing water's at. Like this area right here behind me is pretty green and it's pretty dry, which makes sense. The water's not choking those plants out. So yeah, a different experience on a new trail. Very excited about it. Get a little taste of the Florida Trail, and I'm excited to watch even more people on YouTube who have done the whole thing or who have started. So it'll give me something to do when I'm back in Cleveland as far as watching people hike. Met one hiker this morning. Her name was Groot, and she is ahead of us. All right, I'm gonna get my watch calculated again. It looks like I'm jumping into some more water. Over and out. All right, just got the 13-mile camp, which is a little bit confusing because I've gone 16 and a half miles to this point. But there's some great little hammock spots. There's the camp sign. Got a nice little fire pit with a nice little picnic table, and maintained really nice. So it's beautiful in here. Look at these palms and stuff. So I'm just gonna wait for Mockingbird, and looks like it's lunchtime. It's about 12:30, so it's slow going. Only did about 7 miles so far, but that's all right. Enjoying the beauty of this place. All right, keep you posted. All right, here is, according to Far Out, the toughest section of the Florida Trail. And they say at marker 27, if you don't have 2 hours worth of darkness, or light, I should say, you want to make sure you're at this point. Leave 2 hours to cover basically 2 miles to get to Oak Hill. So that's where I'm heading. And it wasn't so bad, and now it's starting to just be all water, as you can see. So I know I'm cruising better than 1 mile per hour, but it's definitely slow going. I got about 1.5 miles left, a little less than that. Here we go. All right, that is the trail. It's about over calf deep. Look at that beautiful swamp cypress tree. Look at them all in there. Almost to the camp. About half a mile, maybe. Less than half a mile, actually. 0.2. All right. Good morning. Day 3 on the Florida Trail. Sitting outside, getting our coffee rolling. Got into bed last night at 7 p.m. Slept until 6. Hard day yesterday, but very, very neat. And gonna have oatmeal. Got the delicious coffee this morning. I'm gonna hit the trail. Slept a lot better last night than the night before. And body's getting more adjusted to it. Heard a lot of noises in this little tall stand of trees. It's an island in the middle of the swamp. Closest probably that I'll ever be to the Amazon. But we'll be waded in water for the next 7 hours or 7 miles after this. And keep you posted. Hopefully get about 12 miles done today. Over and out. Maybe 15. Good morning, Mr. Greathorn. How are you? I think there's a lot of you in these woods. You like it here, don't you? We're just having breakfast, slept here, and we'll be on our way. You are very big. Please don't come down on my head. All right, Oak Hill Camp. That was our little place of rest last night. And now the trail continues. We are getting going about 7:30. And supposedly got about 7 hours of this. And this. Just to give you some scale, there's Mockingbird in the water. And it's no sense of messing around. It's like dive right in. Because it ain't going to get any better. All right, she is soap blazing for rock and roll this morning. You can do that all you want. All right, we will be getting our feet a little soggy, as you can see, and we'll catch you later. Day 3 on the Florida Trail. Good morning. Just got to Ivy Camp, which is about 3 miles south of 75. Nice tenant area, fire pit, nice bench, and up platform to tent on, which is cool. Get out of the ground. All right, like I said, about 3 miles to Interstate 75. Ivy Camp. We're not going to stop for lunch since we just had a break at Thank God Island. All right. Cruising on the Florida Trail. Over and out. All right, just got out of the water. Hopefully for a while. Look at this beautiful savanna. There's another one of those hammocks areas. Cocoa plums are right there. And then this wide open savanna. Beautiful day in Florida. All right, here we go. It's Florida Trail, about mile 28 right now. And just came out of the water. Shooting some video now because don't have to worry about dropping the phone. Met a real cool dude named Maui. And he's doing the Florida Trail. And we met Groot. Groot's doing the Florida Trail. So just within jumping on 2.5 days ago, start building a little hiker family, which is the way the trail works. So, all right. Once I get up to Route 75, I'll be able to wash up a little bit and get some soda. Really feel like something carbonated. It's crazy how it's only 2.5 days, but I could go for a nice Coke. All right. Keep you posted. What is the term vacation? Is it getting away from your normal routine and not doing anything? Is it being like retired but full time? All I could say is we live a very, very fast-paced life, and if I can be on vacation all the time and provide and produce income, then I am all for it. All right, over and out. The word vacation. So getting back to this vacation word, again, I guess when I used to work 9 to 5, I'd have a vacation that I'd have to tell everyone about. I'm vacationing this week. And now that I'm my own boss, I always want to be on vacation, doing what I want to do. And that might be work. So I'm on a permanent vacation. I guess that's the best way to put it. All right, over and out. Look at them fingernails. I just want to lick them.
Yuck.
How'd you do, Mockingbird?
I'm alive. I'm very hot.
All right, let's go get a cool soda. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right, I love you.
Love you.
Bye. All right, after a much needed siesta in the very air-conditioned, fan-driven space, we fed our faces with vending machines. I had an ice cream. I had a yummy Coca-Cola, and I had some beef jerky, man. Had lunch. Now we're off back into the Everglades, deep, deep in the Gator country. Here we go. Scooby-Doo. Mockingbird's feeling good. She has her umbrella.
Not feeling like I'm gonna die anymore.
She is ready to rock
Or throw
and
up.
roll.
Or fall down.
Okie dokie. Here we go.
campsite, 4.8 miles.
Good morning, day 4 on the Florida Trail. This is the water slough at the end of the campsite at Panther Campsite. That's where we slept last night. So I ended up doing a solid 14 miles almost yesterday, 8 of which was underwater. The other 6 was at a nice trail. So as soon as you get past Interstate 75, it really gets nice. No water. I think it was all agricultural land at one point. But we went to the Panther campsite. Huge site, all nicely mowed in this beautiful lush environment. And it was hot and sticky, up and down a little bit last night, but overall, had some good dreaming going. So, got 15 miles today to the car. That will conclude 50 miles on the Florida Trail. And what I've been told, the toughest 50. So, keep you posted. And I really keep loving every second of this. Over and out. Hey, good morning, Mockingbird.
Good morning.
It's time to rock and roll. Look at that sun coming up. Woo, baby. Say I love you.
I love you.
Hey. The sun's a popping on the Florida Trail. Got done with breakfast. Had one of the mocha Starbucks coffees, which is awesome. Just met another hiker named Shaggy, and hopefully we'll see Scooby later. And then we'll go get some good Native American food, which I'm really looking forward to. All right, over and out. All right, it's about 9:30. Walking along this beautiful road. Seen a bunch of fresh bear scat with a lot of seeds and nuts in it. So they definitely feel like they've been eating well, which is good. Been thinking about the working class. So I've been walking along, and this was an old plantation, which I think it was, because of the canals that were dug and the roads that are in here. Of thinking about who actually worked these fields. And for those that haven't ever worked, it's interesting to think there's whole generations that would be working in a plantation setting. And the only thing they knew was to do that. But just by sheer luck, maybe one of the offsprings decides to do something a little bit different, goes into his own business or her own business, and tries to get ahead of where that was at. So as then I'm thinking further upon that next generation, after someone had built up a business, and then the next generation is a little bit more privileged, they end up, in fact, getting a little lazier, a lot of them. They don't want to work, and they feel like, yeah, you're entitled. And I've seen that. So the key to it is to, in my opinion, is to work, make your own way, make your own dollar, and you will live a more fulfilling life than knowing that golden spoon is there. And I grew up with that, and it's definitely hasn't hurt me from the working aspect, but I'll admit I always knew it was there. And for those that just start out, just like Rocky did, they're a lot hungrier. So another key is to try to keep that hunger, figure what that is. And if it's just being yourself and doing what you enjoy, then that's all the hunger anyone could ask for. So be yourself, do what you enjoy, and you'll be happy. Words of wisdom from the Florida Trail. Over and out. All right, we are cruising. We got about 8 miles left, and it's about 10:15. We're in the Seminole Indian Reservation now, which requires a permit. We're walking on this gravel road where they just skimmed on top of the limestone cap here. But what's pretty neat is there's some natural dill that we're walking by. It smells like dill. It looks like dill right here. I love the smell of dill. So yummy. Reminds me of dilling my pickles and having those yummy tastes. So, all right. Got about another 1.8 miles to the hard road. And then, the rest is that road walk into Big Cypress. So, keep you posted. All right. There's ODOT approved sand and limestone road. So this is the Florida Trail road walk into Big Cypress. About 6 miles you have from once you come off of that canal road. Here it is. And it's about 11:30. Just stopped to have my last sort of lunch. Little tuna roll. And heading this way. So hopefully that'll give me a little fuel and energy that's needed. It's about 85. It's definitely hot. See the mockingbird up there. She has her umbrella out. And not much traffic on this road, which is great. All right. Keep you posted. All right, just got some water, filtered it, threw down some electrolytes. Got my hat wet. Got my legs wet. Cool down a little bit. And pushing on for this last 5 miles. This is one of the major canals here on the Indian Reservation. And far out just says filter water, agricultural use, which is all around us evidently. Beware of that fertilizers and junk. And be aware of alligators. So didn't see either of the two, but water looked good, looked pretty clean, but who knows what's in it. So filter. All right. There's the road walk ahead of me. Mockingbird got a quicker start because she wants to be done with this heat, which I don't blame her. All right, keep you posted. 5 more miles.